Hang on, I need a drink. All right. There's a hair in my mouth.
What is that? Oh, it's a mouse. Oh my god.
There's something on me. Oh my god. Get it off! Get it off! Oh shit. Okay. We ready? Okay, wait, I don't even need to record. It's already recording. That is on camera.
Okay.
Anyways, I moved the mouse to the side so you don't have to panic anymore.
I was just like, is that on me? Is that on the camera? What is that?
You're right.
Technology.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. Oh, wait, I need to get this closer to me. Like, what am I doing here? All right. No, it's
Now we're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I'm Sunny.
I'm Ratchet.
And today we are going to talk about, primarily, I wanted to talk about Martin Luther King.
Yes.
However, something that is kind of relevant is also there seems to be a comparison between Martin Luther King and Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
So,
We're going to get into all of that,
all of it, yes.
whether you agree or disagree.
But first of all, I want to talk about why Martin Luther King Day is so important to me. Because I think that sometimes there's this kind of negative idea that Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a black holiday, which he was for everyone. And it doesn't matter his race. He was a champion of people.
Civil rights for everybody.
Yes.
Inclusion.
Yes. Now, if you don't know, which you probably already do. So he was a civil rights activist and leader. He was also a Baptist minister. And there were others that were activists in the time too, like Malcolm X and stuff. But I think one thing that really is very inspirational is that his activism and his championship of others was not limited by race. What he also was an activist for all people in poverty. And something I didn't know, but I read, said that he also was an activist maybe against the Vietnam War. That was something I read, and I was like, I don't really recall that. So, I don't know. Maybe we should just, not really go there.
Okay.
But, I mean, he was there for all... It's in his I Have a Dream speech,
Which is beautiful.
It is
and
a
iconic.
beautiful speech, yes. And he wrote it in jail, interestingly enough,
I did not know that.
Yeah. He practiced nonviolent resistance and civil disobedience to bring awareness. And so his being a Christian and being a Baptist minister for him meant changing his people's hearts with love.
Yes.
He definitely experienced righteous anger, right? Like, how can you not see these awful things happen and want different?
And his life was in jeopardy the whole time.
Yes.
The whole time.
He even, the FBI considered him a radical, and they, investigated him and spied on him and did a lot, too, which is so sad. So he did, though, in his lifetime, he won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, which is so well-deserved. He was just such a great orator. He has a lot of quotes that, for me, are life philosophies. And I think I've mentioned it before, his quote that if I can't do great things, I'll do small things in a great way. That idea that, maybe I'm not a big celebrity out there getting a whole lot of attention, but I still have a place in this world to make a difference and spread kindness and spread love. And so that's why I think Martin Luther King Day is a day for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And
he brought forth change in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Or he was one of the main people who brought forth change in this country.
And something I don't know that a lot of people really realize, and I actually wish I did more of this. Maybe it's something I'll eventually get better at. But Martin Luther King Day is not really intended to be a non-working day. It's really intended to be a day where you can go out and be active in your community and do something to make it better. That's supposed to be the purpose of it. So I think that when people make a lot of negative comments about it, being a day that you don't go to work, I don't think that they're understanding the
You're supposed to use this day for something better.
To do good. Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So great guy. Love Martin Luther King Jr.
And the thing is that this isn't like something that happened eons ago. This was like his children are still alive.
Yes.
This is stuff that is like they're still here.
Yes.
And his work is still being...
It's still something that's moving forward and spreading and out.
Especially
and evolving
in today's day.
In this world today. Yes. Very significant. Very just wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
When did he die? Like it was in the 60s or 70s, right?
Yeah, he was assassinated in 1968 by gunshot.
Yeah.
And I think, so some people, I guess, are making the comparison between Martin Luther King and Charlie Kirk. And so I tried to do some more researching because I honestly...
I did too.
As far as Charlie Kirk goes, I think it's sad that somebody shot him.
Nobody should be shot for their political views.
Right.
100%.
Like that's not okay.
We're not getting there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a man who had a viewpoint, whether you believe in it or not,
mm-hmm.
whether I believe in it or not. He was just speaking his piece.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve to die because of it.
Right, exactly. And I do understand that people grieve that happened. And
mm-hmm.
I agree, that is very sad.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to look at some similarities. So, I suppose Martin Luther King, he was a Baptist minister. Charlie Kirk was not a civil rights activist, but a political activist and a media personality, which also made me wonder if Martin Luther King was in the age of technology. How would his influence have been different? But we'll never know.
I mean, it would have been wider.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Kirk wouldn't have gotten
mm-hmm. So, and Charlie Kirk, he's not necessarily a Christian. His stuff wasn't necessarily in a Christian in general movement.
No, it was political for him.
It's political, but it was also Christian nationalism and Trumpism, which I think is important to acknowledge because that is a very specific set of beliefs.
It is.
But he was an activist who his religious beliefs definitely played a part in what he did. So that I can see as a parallel, and both were assassinated by gunshot. But I really feel like that's where the similarities end.
That's where they end.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a Martin Luther King. He is not
mm-hmm.
the New Age Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
He is a man who unfortunately passed away due to somebody's hatred.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot of his own.
I do think that there are people, though, that in their minds, the people that are supporting and mourning Charlie Kirk as a loss. So if you kind of follow that whole Christian nationalism thing, so he did have more controversial positions. He was actually critical of Martin Luther King
mm-hmm.
and the Civil Rights Act.
Yes.
But he also promoted the White Genocide Conspiracy Theory, which I had to read about because I was like, what are we talking about? And so white Christian nationalists have this theory or this claim that there is like a deliberate plot. And then the note I saw said that, mostly people are blaming this on the Jews, which is weird.
What?
Right? Because...
What?
Right. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, yes, exactly. What? But this plot is to cause the extinction of white people through forced assimilation, mass immigration, or violent genocide.
Okay, what?
So
Repeat that.
These people believe that there is a plot to eliminate white people.
That's what I thought I heard.
Yes. Yes. And so they feel like their ideals and beliefs are being challenged.
Okay.
They feel like we're getting all these immigrants in that are blending in society and their white culture is being lost. And they feel like it's all a plot to eliminate the white race. So
I never thought I'd wear a shirt that was more fitting for a statement. Fucking eat a dick.
Okay, right. I do not agree, but I'm saying pretend for a minute. Okay? Pretend you are a white Christian nationalist who believes that your race is subject to genocide, like they're trying to eliminate your ideals and your race. Would you see Charlie Kirk as a hero protecting your race?
Okay, being from a populace that was genocide, I don't think there's a comparison.
Okay, I know. I'm saying let's get into the psyche of that person.
Okay, as a culture that was genocide, there's no comparison that I could think of that is in my head that mimic anything that's going on to the white population.
Right, there's not. Okay, reality, there's not.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that maybe this is where the sentiment's coming from, because it sounds so wild to me that somebody would make that comparison.
Yeah, oh my God.
Like, I'm just trying to, I'm reading this trying to say, okay, where is this mindset coming from? Why would you take someone who was very opposed to Martin Luther King's belief and make a comparison, you know? And it's, and there's not, right? Like, so like Charlie Kirk did posthumously get awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which that was an after the fact. And I feel like, if anything, it was kind of jumping on this bandwagon to get conservative supporters, because these are people that are already Christian nationalists. They're drinking the tea of Trumpism, and then Trump goes and honors that guy with an award.
Okay, so I'm not opposed to Charlie Kirk in general. Like, he had a lot of good things I actually did agree with. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that he said, though, is downright stupid, in my opinion. I'm so sorry. This has flabbergasted me. I had never heard of this before, and I'm a little appalled that people are considering this an epidemic in white culture.
These are, I think that a lot of these people kind of live kind of isolated in their own world, because you can't really get out into the world and be exposed to different cultures and different people, different lifestyles, and stay that way, because you will, if you get close, you find people of all these races and all these backgrounds, and you can't help, like, it's not possible to not have love for people, to find things and be like, oh, that's like, even if you're just saying that's an exception to the rule, I don't think that somebody who was a white supremacist who ended up living amongst a black community could ever stay that way.
I would hope not.
Right, because you would be forced
to assimilate.
Well, not even, that's what they're saying, forced assimilation, but no, you would be forced to see them as humans.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And so I think that people that get to this place, they've isolated themselves in a way that they're just, they have these beliefs about the outside world that they don't know.
I mean, off topic, they have started making more, I think there's 2 societies or 2 cities now that are white-only cities in America at this point. 2 cities. Or at least there's one, and they were working on another one. I don't know. I haven't looked back to research it. But the fact that, yeah. Okay, so off topic. That yes, I'm a little flabbergasted. I apologize.
No, it's okay. Like, so where are we? Like, it would be tragic to pull away from the progress we made with like Martin Luther King, right? So why is this happening?
Because people love to hate. I mean, I'm a bitch. I know I'm a bitch, but I mean, I don't hate anybody, and I don't hate anybody definitely for their cultures or ethnicities. If I dislike you, it's because of who you are.
Which is almost more insulting.
Right? You gave me a reason to dislike you. So I just can't grasp the mindset of people who are like, this person is beneath me because of the color of their skin, or because of the country they came from, or their origins, or their culture. Or their sex. That mindset is just, it's baffling to me. And here we are again.
You know what really, like, so I think about the Charlie Kirk movement, and I think about, so OU had a student who wrote a paper about transgender issues.
Oh, I remember this on the news.
Yeah, and I've read some of what she wrote, and I've read what the intent is, and I can't. It's very, very Charlie Kirkish in my mind, and it's like writing about, you know, like she talks about, you know, to not follow God's assigned gender roles or whatever is demonic. And then it has a quote from her saying she didn't mean to offend anyone by saying demonic. And I'm like, really though? Really? You don't know? You don't know that that would be offensive? You are a young adult.
You're supposed to be. Maybe her parents were gentle parenting.
Well, no, I mean, I think she just, like, really believes this. Like, she wrote about how it's like, if you're a woman, then you have to behave in a womanly way because that's what God wants. And if you're not doing that, then you're, you know.
But see, the thing is with all that, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Like, there was this one interview with this lady who was talking about the Bible and abortion rights and stuff like that. But she was saying that Christians, like, we live in a country where you have a freedom of religion. Like, if you want to believe this, if you want to take this book as the end-all be-all and that's all you're going to live by, that's cool, 100%. She will support you in that. But that's not my beliefs. This is what she's saying. It's not my belief either. But she was saying, that's not my belief, and you can't force your beliefs on me. I will support you, and I will fight for your right to have your viewpoints, to live the way you want to live. But taking those viewpoints and forcing it on other people is wrong.
Yeah, and I guess we have to keep in mind that, I don't know if that's where you're going with it, the girl that wrote this paper wasn't planning for it to, you know, blow up. It was a paper she wrote to turn into a TA.
Yeah, and then she got a 0, and then she fought it.
And now she's, like, saying, you know, religious discrimination. But I think, you know, I mean, the TA did say that her essay was very cruel at times. And I mean, that's not untrue, especially considering she was writing to a TA who I think is transgender. And I mean, the topic, she was supposed to, I guess, respond to an article that talked about bullying in relation to transgender. And her whole argument was, well, she didn't really answer the assignment. She said that basically because of her religion, she thinks it's okay to bully transgender people.
That means her parents failed her.
Yeah. Like, it is. Like, that's a very cruel argument to make. But also, she was supposed to take, you know, she was supposed to have a response to this article and take, like, research-based stuff and respond, have some sort of response. But it's all a very, you know, reference to the Bible. And it's just, like, basically, yes, you should be bullied if you are not behaving, you know, in the traditional way that a woman should and a man should. And it really, like, I think this is where something with Christians I notice I think kind of crosses over. And I feel like I saw this when my son was in private school for a while. That they want the Bible to be considered a relevant, research-based, scientific, like they want it to be equated to that.
Then they shouldn't have had a mad king tear it apart, rewrite it. No.
Well, it's just, it can be a cultural reference, right? In the same way that the Torah could, or the Quran, but they want this to be considered science, right? Like they want creationism to be considered like, they're very opposed to science. They want it to be creationism, not evolution. And like they don't want to live in a secular world. I think that's the problem.
Go to your own cultures. Go to your own cities. I don't care.
Yeah, like maybe instead of going to OU, she should have gone to a private school.
Yes. Go to a Christian school.
Yeah.
Like
if reinforce your beliefs somewhere else.
Or just don't get mad when somebody else steps on your toes.
Yeah.
Because they don't agree with you.
I mean, right. Well, but the TA got mad, but obviously that's like really offensive. I would hate to have like a very misogynist paper written about like why women shouldn't have rights. So I think it would be hard not to get personal there.
100%.
And so maybe he got personal, but
it sounds like he had to have gotten it. Yes.
How could you not?
Yes.
It's a very upsetting paper.
Because she got a 0, I think, is what it turned out to be before.
But I also agree she didn't do what the assignment said, which is why he said he gave her a 0. And she said, like, I saw her saying that she's gotten hundreds on all her other papers, which honestly, when I read the paper too, I thought, man, she could use some, writing skills herself. Grammar is not great. Like, it's not a well-written piece. Like, I don't know how she got hundreds on other papers, if I'm being honest. And that is part of the thing, like, in some of the education groups, they're posting it and doing their editing notes. Like, nothing to do with religion. Like, it actually is a shitty paper,
That's what she should have got graded on then. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, it seems legit, in my opinion, that she would have gotten a 0. But
I mean, you get at least 10 points for getting your name right?
You stop. No. But, like, it is arguable that she did not answer the question. And it is a cruel paper. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I guess maybe she doesn't see it that way because she thinks she's right. But, right or wrong, it is a very unkind paper. Mm-hmm. And to say that you didn't mean to offend anyone with the use of the word demonic. What the fuck?
No, that's just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know how exactly we got over there. I think it's just kind of this, like, trying to understand the Christian nationalism and why they think the way they do. Like, they're coming from a whole different place than we are. Like the Bible is considered a factual, like the best reference.
Word of God. Everything in there is divine. Mm-hmm. Which is, I mean, I get that. I mean, I grew up in a Christian. I've read that Bible like over and over again. I know what it says. Mm-hmm. You
read the part about the dad selling off his daughters as like sexual slaves to keep invaders from coming in?
Oh, those were angels, supposedly angels, and he gave, because they wanted to basically rape these men, and so he gave them his virgin daughters, and they came back to him like in pieces to keep these men safe. That's your Bible. I mean, I'm not saying it's all right, not wrong. I'm just saying that's a story in there.
There's just like some serious like shady shit. Like apparently, I don't know. So for me, as a Christian, I think about where I really hold on to is I hold on to the New Testament, particularly the stories of Christ walking on earth and what he said, because he's supposed to be the change, right?
So that brings us back to Martin Luther King, because he upset the narrative. He wanted political change. He wanted things to be different. He wanted inclusion. I'm not saying Martin Luther King is a Jesus. I'm just saying, like, it's the same thing. Like,
He
Martin
really
Luther King,
modeled his
Yes.
behaviors in life after the actions of Christ.
Yes.
Whereas Charlie Kirk
Charlie Kirk.
is not setting that example. Would you like to tell us about why you feel that way?
Sure.
Okay.
Why these comparisons fell for these two. MLK survived assassination attempts, constant threats, jail time, and government surveillance. Kirk survived backlash, bad press, not the same sport, not even the same planet. MLK fought for equality. Kirk fought for ideology. MLK united marginalized communities. Kirk targeted them. MLK challenged power. Kirk worked with power. They are not the same. They're not the same. I am so sorry Kirk died. He shouldn't have died the way he died.
No.
But they are not the same. He is not an MLK in this generation. He is a political talk person who got assassinated for his views, unfortunately.
Yeah. All of that. I think, too, like, the question is, and I think the big divide here. So one of the reasons I heard that, Trump is successful right now is that he campaigns on fear. Whereas, like, Obama and also Kamala were campaigning on messages of hope. And some people have argued that the success or the election of Trump and the rise of people like Charlie Kirk is that right now we've become this nation of fear. And so I feel so like, and that's what Martin Luther King overcame, right? Because the whole reason for Jim Crow laws and segregation was people living in fear.
Of people who were different than them.
Yes, whereas he gave a message of hope. And I will take hope over fear every day.
I just wish people would be nice to each other. I just wish people would leave each other alone because you don't agree with their differences. I mean, at the end of the day, what does it have to do with you? Like, you have a black person in your neighborhood. So what? Is it affecting your daily life? No? Then move the fuck on.
I would love to get to a point where it's not a thing, right? Like I said, when our foster child came into our house, and she came from a place where there was a lot of, like, negative ideas about different
Reverse
races.
racism.
Well, yes, like she, was constantly trying to point out racism. And, I kept trying to tell her, I was like, this wasn't a conversation before you came in the house. Like, our neighborhood, I would say there are more black and Asian people that live in our neighborhood than white people. Now, did I think about that at all when we moved in? No. I started thinking about all of this stuff a lot more when she came and was accusing us of, like, she was throwing all her ideas about white people in our face.
So,
Yet
I mean, that's
she chose to stay with us.
Of course she chose to stay with you guys because her mom is a piece of shit.
Oh, God, don't say that.
No, her mother is a piece of shit.
Oh,
I had
God.
dealings with her, too. She's a fucking piece of shit.
Wow. Okay. So that's how you feel. It's just,
I didn't say names.
You didn't. I didn't either. But, it's like, so I guess the point I'm getting to is that, and something I tried to talk to with my daughter about because she is identifying as LGBTQ, but she feels more comfortable talking about it to her mother than to us. And, like, her mother, it's like, it's a big thing. They do pride. They have, I don't know. They just have a lot of things that they do to really actively acknowledge it and talk about it and make comments about it. Whereas we don't talk about it in my house. I tried to tell her, I was like, you can tell us, how you feel. I said, the reason that we don't talk about it is not that we're against it. It's just not a thing. Like, if you're gay, be gay. Like, who cares? That's fine. Like, we don't talk about it And I don't know, maybe we should, but it's like race, not a thing we talk about or think about or keep tabs on.
No, I don't pick my friends
LGBT.
based on color. I pick my friends based on attitude.
Well, it's just like LGBTQ. Like, can we move on to a place where it's not something that has to be this conscious thing because we've evolved past it? Like, I was in, when I lived for a very short time in France, that was the first time I lived in a place that truly racism was not an issue. Like, people that were of any race, including black people, like, and to be fair, they hadn't been brought over on
Slaves and everything like that. Yeah.
But it was a truly equal society, you know, biracial marriages, biracial relationships, not even like, not a conversation, not an issue, not a problem. You know, there wasn't like, and there wasn't that economical divide. And that's where I'd like to be. Like, I know that as a race, black people have, it's bad.
I mean, they've suffered in this country,
they
for sure.
Have suffered, and there is a reason, and it's all, you know, it's not that far away, certain things like Martin Luther King and all of that, and I do get it. But I do want to be in a place like Martin Luther King talked about, how it doesn't matter your race. We can all be friends. Our children can play together, and it's not.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about your daughter being LGBT. Okay, so my daughter came out as bi too. And I remember she'd get in trouble and she'd be like, "Oh, you're only mad at me because I'm bi or I'm gay." And I'm like, I don't give a rat's ass who you want to love at the end of the day. My job is just to make you a productive member of society. Right. That is all. Right, I love you no matter what.
Yeah, like can we just get there, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't know. It's great. Like, people that celebrate Pride, I'm happy for them. It makes them feel proud of who they are.
Yes.
And that's great.
And it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
One way or another, if that parade is going on or not. My life continues as is.
Right.
My day-to-day doesn't change. So why am I going to hate?
And I think, so I feel like that is the vision that Martin Luther King Jr. had. There's just so much I respect about him as a Christian and as a leader and as an activist and just as a decent human being.
No, I agree, 100%. So I hope that we can get back to just remembering what this day is supposed to stand for, and I learned something new. I didn't know we were supposed to go out and be a productive member of society on that day, but that's something definitely to work towards and accomplish. I'm in awe of those people who want to take away from his legacy to make themselves feel better by putting Kirk as the next MLK or this generation's MLK.
Yeah.
That's upsetting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I, for one, you know, I don't agree with how Charlie Kirk died, but other than that, I just don't much care about him. He doesn't, he's not a part of my thoughts. So whatever. No.
I mean, I'd catch little segments of his speeches. There are some things, like I said, I agreed with. But most of it, like, there's this one segment of a speech that he did that he talks about going on a plane, and if he sees a black pilot, he gets nervous because he doesn't know if they're a DEI hire, which that's very mean. That's a mean thought to think that to be worried about your safety because you think that this person might have gotten hired due to this that they've now taken away. This, I don't know if it was a law or a policy or what, but now it's gone.
Yeah,
and it hurts women more than anything.
Yeah, I think people don't. I don't know. I don't think that they understand the intent, and I can see how it would feel like not fair if you feel like you're the more qualified person to get passed up on something that doesn't have to do with your qualifications, which I think is the whole opposition to that. But I don't think that that is the point. I think the point is that there's good old boy societies in place everywhere. And, even people who would consider themselves not racist, say they're going through resumes and stuff like that. Like, they might be less inclined to interview someone with a name that they're not familiar with, that they can't pronounce, because they see it as different. And that does happen, even when people are thinking about it and when they're not.
Humanity. That's humanity. Like, I remember when I would, interview for our office manager positions, or front desk positions, I went on looks, like, because you're supposed to be the person that's supposed to greet the customers when they come in. Like, if you got jacked up teeth, I can't hire you.
Well, I think that's not, so the DEI, diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so that whole thing is, they give a status quo, but you're supposed to find people that are qualified, but within a certain race. Like, your workforce shouldn't be entirely white, because there are black people out there that are qualified.
There are.
And there are women out there that are qualified.
I'm going to look something up real quick.
And so I think that when Charlie Kirk made that statement, he's having that misunderstanding, thinking that a pilot who is black did not have to meet the same qualifications as a white person, which is not true. And very sad that he would think that way.
Yes, I agree. I was looking up because I can't remember. Yes. Okay. So with the DEI, companies would get federal funding for, depending on how many blacks or Hispanics or whatever they hire. So that's what I was wanting to clarify before I said it.
They're kind of like we as parents, they're bribing people to do what they want them to do. Like when we try to bribe our kids to do what we want them to do.
But you know what? I think that's honestly appropriate, because we just did an episode on generations. And if you go back a generation or two, they were more prone to hire just their kind.
Right.
So,
it was the 70s when the first black police officer was hired.
70s.
The 70s, yeah.
That was 50 years ago, guys. That was only 50 years ago.
Right.
This is where we are in our country. That was just 50 years.
Right. So, like, there was obviously a need to get people to get out of the mindset. Sorry, mindset. I don't know, maybe kindset should become a word, but out of that mindset, and they found a way to positively reinforce the behavior they want to see.
Allowances. There you go.
I mean, whatever. But I don't think people necessarily see it that way. I know that my dad was very frustrated, feeling like, he had a coworker who he didn't dislike her for her race, but he felt like she was very seriously underqualified. And in his mind, it was like, well, she must be a DEI hire, which is not a great mindset, right? Because it doesn't matter what race you are. I can think of a bunch of mediocre, shitty white people in the jobs they have. Like,
yes.
It isn't a race thing, but that's where people's...
It's called laziness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a human issue.
Yeah.
Not a race issue.
It's not. Exactly. Oh.
So I think, I'm really glad that you wanted to do this episode, because I think it's something that needs to be talked about more, and at least brought back to the front of our heads, of my mind. And so I'm really glad that you wanted to do this one.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. And I would like to just kind of encourage everybody to think of some way on the Monday on Martin Luther King Day think of a way you can give back. I mean, it doesn't have to be, if you're not able to go and get out in the community, like, I don't know, fucking write something nice on Facebook for once, you know?
Yes.
Write a letter. Donate to someone, you know?
Food bank is still in need.
Right. Any of those things. But I hope that people can and will continue to remember Martin Luther King's legacy. And I hope it will continue to, perpetuate the good.
Yeah, that's right there. Mm-hmm. Because he did stand for something that a lot of people hated him for. And it was the good in humanity. Mm-hmm. He saw the good in humanity, in people in general, despite their color of their skin or ethnicity or religion. Mm-hmm. He saw the good in humanity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gave that message of hope, and what he died for was people's fears. Mm-hmm. And so don't be that guy, you know?
Yeah. Don't be a twatipus.
Be good, do good.
Be the good change you wanted to see in the world.
Yes, all of that. Yes. Peace, love, and kindness, y'all.
Peace, love, and kindness. And respect. Because this man did die fighting for this. Mm-hmm. So the fact, just respect it. And don't try to marginalize him by comparing him to somebody new.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Absolutely.
Here's to screaming into the void.
Here's to screaming into the void.
Shouting into the void. Here's to shouting into the void.
Shouting. Do whatever you want. Scream, shout, whatever.
We're going to scream and shout.
Woohoo! That's like, twist and shout.
Twist, yeah.
We're going to dance and scream and shout. Woo, whatever you do.
Subscribe. Mm-hmm. And comment and like. And if you guys got ideas on topics that you want us to cover, hit us up. SunnyandRatchet@gmail.com.
Yeah, absolutely.